It would have been a great way to end the series, but, money. No, the fans. Both.
Welcome to the horror show. You realize there is nowhere to run. Don't know who came to fight. Paranoia is getting you alive.
Bloodlust. Subspecies 3. The installment that was shot back-to-back with Part 2 and is just as eerie and fun. Define fun. The plot. Becky has gone for help, and Michelle, who has been recaptured and is being used to bring Radu back to life, is screaming and crying and shut the hell up. Now that the police have arrived, everything will be alright. Or will it be? Now, I've trimmed a lot off that plot, especially because the third act is something I want you to experience. It is a great way to have the series either end or continue to thrive, depending on when you stop watching. With being shot back-to-back with Part 2, you'd think that one or both of the films would have suffered from having a tired cast and crew, but no. It looks and feels like everyone had a great time making this movie. Pamela Gordon is a riot, especially when she works with the special makeup effects crew, which was done yet again by Wayne Toth, who also worked on Tix, the Guyver, and Wishmaster. Many people consider this entire story a tragic romance. I can definitely see that. By this point, Michelle, played again by Denise Duff, has somewhat gotten used to Radu and Mummy, and now she wants to escape. Radu, played yet again by Andre Hove, is a lost lover. He has yearned for a feeling such as this for a long, long time. There is one line in this movie that he says that is not entirely factual, but is deep. It's the one where he's like, I've killed my mother, my father, my entire bloodline. For you. First off, he did it for power, as stated in the original. Second, he didn't even know Michelle until a bit later in the first movie, and that was after killing one of his bloodlines. But even with those flaws, it is still a story about two vampires, one young and one old, whom are drifting further from what each other's desires are. I love that it plays out as a what-if scenario. This whole series does. Like, what if you were made into a vampire? Would you accept it, or would you want instant death? Radu shows and tells some of his weaknesses in this movie. There is this other great scene where Michelle and Radu watch as the dawn approaches, and Michelle asks, what can kill a vampire? And for Radu to kill her shortly after. It is a deep scene for sure. Mel, played by Kevin Spertus from Friday the 13th Part 7, The New Blood, is a great character who takes some convincing at first, but by the time stuff becomes too insane to ignore, he not only becomes a believer, but he calls for some assistance. Bob, played by Michael Femina, is that type of one-off character. You think he's going to play a bigger part, but then, surprise! Lieutenant Marin, played by Ian Hayduk, also takes a bit of convincing. But once he sees some of this stuff go down, he's like, oh, shit. He has this look of befuddlement on his face that's just priceless. The gore, the effects. While not the goriest, there's still some good stuff to be seen here. There's a graphic impaling scene, bloodshed, and some melting flesh. The subspecies themselves don't even arrive until the very end, and at that point it's like, why even bother? The musical score, it is the same as the first two, with the exclusion of the special makeup effects department playing their Slayer Rejects band. Still, the theme is a welcome return. People always seem to drift to Part 2 as being their favorite. It has more gore, effects, action, and adventure. This has all that but in a smaller dose, and more added romance. So therefore, both Parts 2 and 3 are on a par for me. Overall, I give Bloodlust Subspecies 3 a 4 out of 5. I am Brian Gatto, host of Horror Show Entertainment. Make sure to like my Facebook page in the description below and to leave comments and subscribe.